Today I want to tell you about an amazing freeware mod that's payware quality, and if you're into flying the Cessna 172, this could transform your experience. It's only for the G1000 version. It's from an established developer that I've featured before on this channel, and in particular their Cessna 172 tail dragger and their amazing bush kit. But today we're looking at something a little bit different, and I think you'll like it. And when I say transform, I don't use that word lightly. You get a multitude of options, including fairings for the wheels, tie-downs, pitot and engine intake covers, and as you can see, chocks. The door and windows open. That alone would be enough for me to download it. And no, your eyes don't deceive you, there are passengers, and all these options are configurable. But none of these are the main part of this mod. There's an absolute ton more. And in this video, we're going to have a closer look. Welcome back to the Sim Hangar. My name's Mark. Thank you very much for watching. And let's get started. Once installed, look down on the left, pilot side, and you'll see a notebook. In the center console, there's a map. And on the right, co-pilot side, we've got a tablet. And you can interact with all of these. Let's start off by having a look at the notebook. Click on the spiral binding to open it up, and here are all your config options. A reminder, this is only for the G1000 model. Other models not planned. Simply click to add or remove items. Tie-downs, gone. Pitot heat covers, gone. Click them again to add them, and they'll reappear. And they're really well done. Note how they're swaying in the breeze. Huge amount of detail added here. Let's get rid of those now, we won't need them. Let's also get rid of the wheel chocks. But we'll keep the wheel fairings. Let's take a quick look at that. That's with them added. Let's now remove them. And as before, it's simply just click in the box. Wheel fairings are now gone. Well implemented, easy to use. Back in the cockpit, and here's something you may not have seen before. My config is for cargo at the moment. No co-pilot seat. But of course, we can change that if we want to. So let's go ahead and add the co-pilot seat, and while we're here we might as well add the back seats as well. Our notebook has the option to switch back to cargo if we want to. We can just do a quick check, make sure we've got the seats. Yes, they're all back. Let's now add some passengers. Two options, passenger left and right rear seat. You also have the option to add the pilot or co-pilot if you want to. I'm not going to bother on this occasion. Welcome on board, please make yourselves comfortable. We'll be departing shortly. Let's just get rid of those because we're going to change for our cargo configuration. A very neat feature is you'll see there's also an entry hide manual logo. That's to enable or hide this switch here. Click the switch and up comes a comprehensive manual, as well as a list of updates, and I strongly recommend that you read it, as it contains lots of little tips and tricks that'll highlight the wealth of different options available to you with this mod. Click on the border or flick the switch to hide it. You have the option for cold and dark start if you want, and also to have a persistent aircraft. But have a look at this. It's the flip checklist box, and it puts these series of switches right in front of you. Now these don't do anything other than a physical check and reminder to you of things that need to be done for takeoff, landing and so on. Is it a real thing? Well, check out the missionary bush pilot on YouTube. I think he uses something along these lines. And he's a real-world pilot flying in Papua New Guinea. If this sort of check system or checklist is not to your liking, no problem, we can turn it off and we can activate our checklist card. And if we just peer up a little bit, we should be able to see it. Click on it to make it visible. And these checklists are very comprehensive. Includes checklists, procedures, emergency procedures, and so on. You can tab through them by clicking on the next or previous tabs. They're not interactive, they don't change color when you do anything, but they're there as a reference, just like in the real world. One thing that I do like and you don't see very often is that there is a run-up checklist included. Click on the top bar and it'll remain in your cockpit out of the way if you want to refer to it during the flight. In addition to the cold and dark and persistent options, once you're happy with your config, you can save it so that when you come back to the aircraft, it'll be in that state. Let's now have a look at some of the cargo options that are available. Remember, we've removed the back seats. Plenty of room for our cargo now, so let's go ahead and configure that. Once again, to do that's dead simple. We just choose the Cargo tab and it takes us to a new page. And here you get a multitude of different types of baggage, luggage and cargo that you can select. I think we'll choose crates on the left-hand side, and let's go for flight cases on the right. Wow, that's quite a big crate. That just fits. According to the developer's notes, the flight characteristics of the aircraft are affected by the weight, even though it may not reflect in the default weight settings shown in the top toolbar. Here are some drums and cardboard boxes. That's quite impressive. In fact, it's amazing. Let's try now the unload cargo and baggage and see what happens. Oh, there it is. Let's pop outside and have a look. I've got to say I'm extremely impressed with this package, but read the notes from the developer. There are some limitations. It won't work with bespoke liveries, although I understand there is a workaround. At default level I could only get it to work with this one livery, but again I probably need to read the notes more. I'm done with the notebook for now, so we can close that and put it away, and let's go and have a look at the map, the one in the center console. Once again, just click it to open it up. Depending on where you are in the world, there's recommended maps to use for the application. I'm in the States, so I'll choose the VFR map. Note, as far as I'm aware, it doesn't support any flight planning, aircraft visibility, sky vector, etc. Default location seems to be Seattle. I'm at Martha's Vineyard, or close to that, so there's a box and search option at the top. Kilo Mike Victor Yankee. Hit search. No, I've typed that wrong. Let me make the correction. That's better. Now searching, and that's correct. Martha's Vineyard. We can now zoom in. Takes a short moment or two to load, but the time lag isn't terrible, but I guess it would depend on your internet speed. So from a practical perspective, these maps are really just for reference and an aid to your flying, and as far as I can ascertain are not interactive at this point, but still very handy to have. We can return the map to its pocket by selecting the clip at the top. Now we can have a look at the tablet. We can activate this by clicking on the power button on the right hand side. And what this does is simply show you what third-party applications you can use with this mod, and allows you to connect directly to them. Note, when you're searching and typing on the map, it's a bit iffy and can interfere with normal SIM functions. But what is very handy is that this tablet can also display the map. And I found this somewhat easier, but I couldn't move it within the cockpit. It seems fixed in its one position. To close it, select the power button once again, and it'll head straight back to its pocket. We've got a door and a window open at the moment, so let's close those, and they're very nicely animated. That's the window closed. Now let's close the door. Done. And the last thing we'll have a quick look at are these sun visors, and they're adjustable in a multitude of different ways. You can slide them, reposition them, pull them down, and so on. A great feature. So overall, despite a few limitations, the Cessna 172 Skyhawk G1000 Improvement Mod gets my full and highest recommendation. Now, I haven't covered everything. It handles better as well, and the fact that it's freeware, well, it just makes it even better. And to the developer Bagaloo, thank you very much for enhancing my Cessna 172 experience. If you're interested in getting this, or the freeware Tradewind airport scenery from Burning Blue Designs, links in the notes below. Thank you very much for joining me today. I hope you found it useful and informative. Stay well, look after yourselves. I'll see you all again very soon, and bye for now.